Hello traders, welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris Forsick from Elite Currency. Let's take a look at the euro dollar, what to expect in this first week of December, last month of the year. 2 weeks ago we had a bullish pin bar. We had a lot of buying pressure here with this wick indicated. We also had a strong close with the candle close near the high. So a little bit of indication that there could be a retracement, but overall, of course, the downtrend very strong. Look at all these candles away from the 21 EMA zone. Look at the HMA flipping back bearish below the 21 EMA zone here, staying bearish. So certainly a lot of bearish pressure after price broke through the 115 support zone. But retracement likely, and that's what we had last week. We had some retracement, in fact, last week's weekly candle with a higher high and a higher low, but ending as a doji, indicating indecision. So I think that this indicating some kind of pause. I wouldn't be surprised if the first week of December continues in that vibe, either with a push to the 50-61.8 zone, or if a test of the previous bottom and then a bounce back up. So I think we're going to stay in that consolidation zone. But overall, after we finish this correction, I do expect the downtrend to continue. I do think that this position, this structure is bearish. And after we finish the correction, I would expect to fall further down because this momentum is heavy. This momentum is strong. And after price broke through the 144 May, after broke through the 50 fib, and yeah, it was just basically one straight fall downwards and the downtrend continuing with some kind of bearish wave 3 probably. And I expect that to continue down to 110 at the next round psychological level, down to 109, 108.30 perhaps. Those levels, the 78.6 fib, the 88.6 fib, deep challenges of the previous bottom. Because now with price obviously making a lower high here, but not only that, making a lower low and breaking that lower low, it's full on downwards and going to challenge this previous bottom. Okay, so with the higher low, of course, it was the first step, the break of the 21.8. The second step, the bounce, the break of the 38, the break of the 50. All of these were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 phases in this overall downtrend. So I wasn't bearish all the time, by the way, of course, as you know if you follow these videos. But I did indicate what levels would need to be broken for bearishness to be activated, and those levels were indeed broken. So I think that more downside to come, but retracement time a little bit, yes. I think that if we look at the daily chart, we see inside candles within this bullish candle. We see a HMA up. We see price respecting the 21 EMA zone, of course, for the moment, but we see a pretty strong candle here. It does look like a bull flag pattern. I wouldn't be surprised if price breaks that bull flag pattern and moves up to the 50 fib, but then sees a pretty strong bounce there for a downward continuation. So bearish candlestick patterns at the 50 fib, to me, look interesting, or the 61.8 fib if it gets there at 114.50. If it breaks lower by any chance, which could happen because I think there are fundamental factors. Of course, we saw Bitcoin move heavily to the downside yesterday, so there was apparently a lot of risk off. That would be good for the dollar on Monday, or later today on Sunday, I should say, depending on your time zone, I guess. So that could happen, but I think that a challenge of if it breaks below the 20 MA again, I think it's just going to challenge the previous bottom and make a bounce and stay in this zone, and then bounce again at the previous top like this. So down, and then up, and then down again. Unless, of course, it really breaks the bottom, shows a bear flag, and then breaks that bear flag, of course, then I would turn bearish in that particular pattern or kind of movement, of course, that changes the perspectives, and the target would be 110, 109, 130, 108.30, sorry. Otherwise, I think that the previous bottom could hold, and if we see a bounce there, could be a reason to challenge the top, and the top should be a reason to fall down, and once it completed ABC, it should give the green light for a downtrend continuation, in my view. It stays bearish really for a long time. I mean, even if it breaks above the 61.8 fib, you still have this zone ahead of it. That's heavily bearish. So I don't know how much it's going to retrace. Probably not much. If it retraces more than I expect, then still we got this zone the deep fibs to reckon with, and that still could be a very strong bouncing spot. So I don't see much hope for the bulls in my eyes. All right, pound dollar. Neither in the short, medium term, maybe not even the long term. I don't know. Well, long term, yes, in theory, the 88.6 could be a bouncing spot, of course, as it makes a triangle pattern on the monthly chart. A, B, C, D, E. It could see a move back to 120, but then it could again be a bouncing spot for downside, by the way. And if this triangle is bearish, break to the downside. All right, pound USD. So yeah, we had. Let me think here. We had, as indicated, I was last week. Hang on. Let me go to the 4-hour chart last week. Yeah, I was looking for an ABC pattern here. Price was around here. I said it's going to make maybe a dip, but it will probably not break and make a retest of the resistance. And I literally drew it like this and then down, and that's what happened, like this and down exactly. So that was a nice move. This break didn't go anywhere. Indeed, we saw another retracement, but then after it hit the previous top, it went down a lot, and quickly 133.70 down to 131.90, 180 pips. It made a strong move up, but didn't break the previous top. Made a higher low, a lower high, excuse me. Made a consolidation, but then ultimately broke down at the end of the week. So yes, pretty much indeed what happened, a consolidation and then downside pressure to 132.50, 132.20. Breaking through this support trend line of this downtrend channel, we already were looking at a bounce, a continuation here, then a consolidation and continuation here. So yeah, pretty good moves on the pound USD as expected, bouncing at the support trend line, but after the bounce, continuing, and now pushing more kind of through this support trend line as we do expect, because there is space downwards to 131.30, which is where we have the weekly 38.2 fib, 131.50, and it's pushing through this, basically this downtrend channel. And on the weekly chart, we had a pretty good bearish candle last week too. Inside candle before, 2 bearish candles before that, breaking through the 144 May. Definitely space down to 131.30. And if it depending on the reaction there, if it's a bear flag, of course, could fall further down to the 50 fib at 128, 130, of course, obviously around level to reckon with as well. And last month, very bearish monthly candle. By the way, we were looking at last week at the 29th of November. We didn't have a close yet on that monthly candle, nor did we have on the euro dollar. We had that Wednesday, I think. So bearish candle on the euro dollar, bearish candle on the pound dollar. A lot of bearish pressure. So for the moment, 131.30, 131.50 the target, but it could go way further than that. 130, 128 are the targets if it does go further. But yeah, this is the process of price showing strong momentum, but facing a pretty hefty channel. Bounce followed by continuation, consolidation, and then a break, retest of the resistance trend line of the support line actually that becomes resistance, and then bounce there. So I think we're seeing a break of this channel, and what I would like to see is probably, well, it could break. If it does break the support trend line, then I would like to see a flag on a 15-minute chart and continuation down to that target. That would be a good formation on a 50-minute chart there. If we get a bounce, wouldn't surprise me either, to be honest, with the pound. But in that case, not sure if I would be that greedy to trade that bounce myself. But if it does bounce, a retest of that broken support channel, a retest of this trend line, maybe even a slight break of this, you never know, it could be very volatile. I personally would not put a stop loss above this just in case it goes to 40 stop hunts maybe. But generally, this zone should hold around 133, 133, 35-ish, better maybe in my view to look for candlestick patterns so that there is a reaction already. And yeah, that should be the end. After that, should bounce, challenge the support, maybe make one more test, but eventually break to the downside, in my view. So either a break, full flag, or continuation, or a retest and bounce. I think the best plays here, in my view at least. Now, of course, as I said, it could bounce pretty strongly at 131.50. I have no idea how much, to be honest. If it makes a flag on a 4-hour chart, for instance, I would look for a break on the hourly chart and pull back a continuation below it. If it's a strong bounce, sorry, then in that case, it can go back to the 20 EMA. It can go back to these previous bottoms. It could go back to the channel. All of that is open. But ultimately, I am leaning from this perspective after the retracement for continuation lower. I think that it's going to challenge these fibs, deeper fibs first. So yeah, I think that the reaction here is unknown. It could be strong, it could be mild, it could be weak. But ultimately, after that reaction, I'm expecting a downtrend continuation. But what type of correction here? We'll have to see. I think that the speculation is equally probably possible, to be honest. If I had to choose, I'd probably go for the middle one here. And probably like an ABC pattern. Let's put the fib, because this is looking more and more like a kind of a wave 3 pattern. So maybe something like this, and kind of back to the 38 and then down. That would be my best guesstimate. But the reaction could be anything. Sorry, that was my chair. The reaction could be anything at the 131.50. This is probably my best bet. For the immediate push, break, continuation here like this, or a test and then bounce, then probably like this, and then down towards the 55th. This is my best kind of insight that I'm expecting at this moment. We got to see, of course, how price responds to these levels and then adjust the plan. That's how I do it, at least. Up to you, of course, how you do it. But those are my 2 cents. Whichever one, great trading. Hope this helps. Check out elitecurrency.com for more analysis, more videos, more of our ebooks, SWAT courses, managed trading, all of that, EAs. You can find it all there. And see you very soon. Tomorrow we have a live webinar, so maybe see you in the live webinar. Cheers, bye-bye.